the creation of Generations would have happened roughly about the start of when episode 1 was released. Even as a basic, we'll say that. Yeah?
I first played Generations.
So
very early 2010.
Right, so that would have been a first build, so they would have been started on working on before that, correct?
In theory, long-term planning is like a year before that.
There you go. So we're going to be looking at the basis of 2009, and the game was released 2011. So
back into 2009.
In those 2 years, and so they could theoretically have turned around and said, dump episode 1, and we'll spend the 2 years and we'll make DLC for Generations. And we could have had a digital plan going forward for Generations.
Yeah.
They could have made sure that the hub world would have been accessible and elongatable for DLC levels, and they could have done it that way.
I think you could probably. I think you can probably say that actually. That you said about digital plan. Sonic 4 was pretty much them dipping their toe, and obviously they've done the DLC content before, but it really was them dipping their toe in to see how real proper, if you like, digital content for Sonic would fly.
But we've had this. We've had digital content going back to Sonic 06.
Yeah, but I'm not going to count that as proper digital content.
No, because it was awful. It's just reskinned with the characters.
Yeah, exactly. So this was properly designed for.
Then what about Sonic Unleashed? Wasn't that? Didn't we get extra actual levels with that?
Well, no, not really. It was stuff cut out. I mean, come on. it just reeks that. A lot of it was very, very simple levels. That you had things you had tracks in a loop. You had really bizarre jump.
It was all cut. It was all cut and paste.
It
was all cut and paste with the objects they already had and remodeled.
Personally, I think it was stuff that the design team did in their spare time, like challenge themselves to create really outlandish things, and then some of it got further developed and it made its way into the game proper. Personally, I don't think there's too many set piece ones.
True. Now, they could have actually turned around and, if they actually created a proper digital plan for Generations, you could have had one classic, one Dreamcast, and one modern level per pack.
I would have, personally, and it would have been the easiest thing, is what the Retro guys are doing and have Unleashed levels, base stages, as DLC in Generations.
The problem is now that they've done that, they wouldn't be able to.
Because it would just be like, oh, you've just
so they might. The thing is, we will never know. They might
kind of
well
get
have
that
been
impression
planning
that an awful lot of what's happened recently, especially with episode 2, looks like fan projects. And I'm not being funny, but the first stage of episode 2, the grass very specifically looks like fan remix.
Yes.
Are we actually to the point of comparing grass here?
Especially the
grass looks the same.
Yeah. Well, no, let's take it back.
And there's that 2.5D thing that they're doing.
Look at the flowers specifically from Sylvanian Castle. I'm going to keep calling that because that's what it is.
Sylvanian
families. Look at the flowers in the Midnight Madness, Midnight Race level, Act 3, whatever bullshit, crap, and. Yeah, that sort of stuff we saw in HD fan remix, and
you did see it in there, but you also saw about 20 billion things behind it and in front of it.
Yeah. And there's also, the sunburst when it comes through the clouds. We saw that in that other Mushroom Hill render thing.
The one that someone specifically made as just a video instead of like.
And it was, as soon as I saw that sunburst, I was like, that looks fine, right?
But again, that was a pre-rendering as opposed to a physical element.
I agree, but I think
to a game.
Actually, one thing I will say is that idea was like in the very, very earliest build of episode 2. The whole phrase with sunlight.
I still stick to the fact that. Well, let's go back to the DLC point. If they did do a classic, I think doing a classic a Dreamcast and a modern level in one pack would be a bit too much because that's 6 levels.
You've also got but you've also remember there's also 2 different levels there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's 6 levels.
Yeah.
So the price of that would be extreme. So you would have a classic pack, or which will be 1 level, or a modern pack, or.
I would have thought you'd get a stage, modern and classic, as one DLC pack.
One pack.
Yeah.
600 points.
Yeah, and it gives you 2 extra stages, but one is modern, one is classic.
That would work well as a DLC pack, and I would consider that pack.
How much is that going to currency?
I would consider that pack as a good use of development time.
Yeah.
Because going forward, if if the only thing we're going to get this year, like from Sega on a Sonic basis, is going to be Episode 2, which has been 2 years of development time, that would have been better served as Generations DLC, and obviously it would have got more use for Generations.
It would have given Generations more shelf life.
Yeah. I mean, instead of
because that is just like ridiculously cheap now. Like you can get it for like 15 quid brand new, I think.
It was in Tesco the other day for £11.97.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
And online, you'll probably find it a little bit cheaper than that.
What would you actually have for Generations?
All right. Well,
as a question,
as a classic level, what classic level from Sonic 1 to Knuckles, or including CD, let's say, because they brought CD back, what level would you like to see?
So we had Green Hill, Chemical, and Sky Snake.
We've had, yeah, those are the three we've had.
One from 1 to...
Plus potentially Death Egg as well.
Yeah.
So
we've got like this, so we've got a whole like library of...
You have got, we will say, classic will be 1, 2, 3 at Knuckles and CD, because they brought CD back into canon.
What about Chaotic?
No. Chaotic is technically...
I can't actually think of anything memorable from Chaotix anyway, so...
Unfortunately, the problem with Chaotix as well is the stages aren't incredibly memorable because they're so vivid. Yeah. The colours just sort of mash into the other ones.
S is for Speed Slider.
C is for Chaotix, and it's for Knuckles. Fuck you, you pink emerald thief.
H is for Hyper as well.
When are you bringing Hyper Sonic back? Never, shut up.
Last episode is this.
Classic level?
Right, Mushroom Hill maybe?
Huh?
Mushroom Hill?
We need more Green Hills.
Mushroom Hill was in the DS version. So
it was.
Was it?
Marble.
I was thinking about Marble Zone. Personally, I would personally like more of a Doomsday Zone, but then I think the final boss was quite reminiscent of Doomsday.
Yeah, that would help close it.
I would Lava Reef, I think, would be a good one.
That'd be nice.
I wouldn't pick anything from Knuckles, mainly because of Sky Sanctuary already being in the game.
So would you look specifically to 3
and
then?
Mushroom Hill. So I'd look at 3. I'd very much like Angel Island, but burnt.
I'd like Hydra City, to be fair, because Hydra City was a good water level.
I generally want to move away from water levels. So.
Well, then Marble Garden. Or Launch Base. Launch Base
would have been a really cool
really
stage,
good
actually.
one. Yes, I think that would have worked out really well.
Fly Battery 3 was Knuckles, wasn't it? There was
Fly Battery was
One battery. Oh wait, didn't we have something like that in episode 2?
Yeah.
No,
that was Sky Fortress.
Sky Fortress, yeah.
You want something with good music
So
as well.
what you want in Marble Zone?
I like Marble.
I like Lava
Zone.
Reef.
I'm quite happy with Angel Island.
Angel Island.
Yeah.
I want something I don't know if I want something lava or not. If you're Crisis City, and that's just fire everywhere.
Yeah, but it wasn't really lava like Marble Zone.
There's more emphasis
Marble
on
Zone's got various. It's also more
you've got-
platforming as well.
You got the Green Hills with Green Hill. You got the water with Chemical Plant, and you got like the deathless, massive sceneries of Sky Sanctuary.
So you need like
What you'd need is something robotic-y, like a Scrap Brain.
Scrap Brain. I could go with Scrap Brain. Scrap Brain
Scrap Brain would be nice.
because we didn't.
interesting
I mean, the closest we came to a Scrap Brain was Planet Wisp at the end of it, really, wasn't
But
it?
I'm thinking
Or Starlight.
maybe the opposite as well.
Starlight.
I quite like Starlight.
Starlight would have worked really well.
It was a city. It was a more city kind of, but
It would have had. I think it would have had more depth.
I think-
like Sky Sanctuary, though.
I think what you could have kind of combined like
Springyard.
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 Well,
Springyard
you could
was
have
nice.
combined.
What I
You
would
could have
like-
combined the nighttime of Starlight and a casino-y zone
Yeah.
into one.
See, the way you split it, saying like you've got a grass stage, a water stage, and a sort of sky stage. Why not have an underground stage and do something like Mystic Cave? And then you could have a scenery stage with the night.
And you kind of have that with Marble, don't you?
True. Marble does go on the ground.
Yeah.
Or you can do underground stage.
Fuck that. So.
But we do.
8-bit never existed.
We don't have
So-
lava in the first set either, so you could go for a marble, or marble you could go underground the lava, or you could go full.
I think that works out quite well. So, what would you choose as your Dreamcast era? So we've got Adventure 1, Adventure 2, Shadow, and Heroes.
Shadow?
I'd count Shadow in that.
Yeah.
Just that
So adventure, say adventure era, because that's the
Adventure
same.
era, yeah.
Because that's
Like you have the.
Because Heroes is,
Yeah.
for lack of a better
It
reason,
is adventure
free.
free, and Shadow's like a coda.
Yeah.
As an epilogue on the
Well,
end.
that's
of
the
it.
case.
What
I
was
wouldn't-
the boss of the third one? The Biolid, wasn't it?
Fire Lizard.
No, it was Chaos, wasn't it?
Well, no. Chaos was Adventure. Fire Lizard.
Both-
Final
both-
Hazard was Adventure 2. and then
didn't-
you had Neo Metal for Heroes,
Yep.
and you had Dark Devil Doom for Shadow.
You know what I really want? Oh, Metal Overlord again.
Metal
What I
was
made
a great
of-
boss.
It was, but I don't know. I'd like them to do it right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the biggest problem with the Adventure series is that it was all just giant monsters as a new boss, and that was where it really went downhill. But
You'd also have the problem because you've already had Metal Sonic as a boss. At
Yes.
one point.
Because the boss that ended up at the generation stage, the second stage, Dreamcast, that's the one. Was
Adventure.
was the chaos,
Perfect Chaos.
Perfect Chaos. So you had the city there.
you had Station Square.
You had the Station Square. Then what else did you have? You had
What adventure levels?
Yeah.
You had Speed Highway,
Speed
Crisis
Highway,
City.
Windy Valley.
Windy Valley. No,
No,
Adventure. Oh, Adventure 2 you're talking about. Which
we're
one?
talking about what generation?
Generation.
Oh, what generations have we had already? Okay.
Seaside Hill.
Seaside Hill. That was it. You had like
Seaside Hill.
city destroyed city beach. That was pretty much what you had. So anything would be a nice change.
Oh no, we had. Sorry, no. Crisis City was modern. We had City Escape. City Escape. Blah, 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 blah.
Radical Highway was in the 3DS version.
Speed
I
Hi-
would have loved to have seen a proper 3DS, the proper
3D.
version of 3D version of
Radical Highway.
Radical Highway.
That bridge was cool. I know. I'll be fair. I haven't played 3D. Yet, so-
I'd be intrigued to see, considering they made amends for 06 by doing a really cool Crisis City, I'd like to see them do amends for Shadow the Hedgehog and do a really cool Westopolis.
Westopolis would
I
be
could
good.
go with that.
Because again, it's although
I'd say Westopolis, but again, that's another city.
Yeah, that's
Kind of,
that's the problem, isn't it? You've had City Escape and then
This
you've
is the thing about that. Like, I think the only one that really had a lot of scenery. You had like
I like
in
the
Shadow,
ruins.
in Shadow you had a few.
the Flying Ruins one.
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, but that's
Or-
very Sky Sanctuary-ish.
But
Actually, the one we didn't
Heroes,
have.
Heroes is where you want to look because that had big
That had everything.
haunted house.
Or Cryptic House.
Yeah.
You could do a mashup between those two, or you could do the two digital levels from Shadow, because there isn't the high technological
Yeah, that's a
digital
good
one.
point, yeah.
So Mad Matrix and what's the other one?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. As long as they
Digital.
moved away from that
I know it begins with
tracks
digital.
running
Digital
around
highway,
and
is it?
changing
I think it might
lanes.
be.
Yeah, but so
That big
either,
of a-
either the haunted mashup of the two heroes ones, or
a
the
haunted house or Tron. Big
yeah. Well, you said they ripped off the D-Res sound effect, so I don't see why they.
Yeah.
You can't not say that really.
Or did D-Res rip them off because it was before?
I'd like to see a proper Kingdom Valley. No, I'm on modern already, aren't I?
Yeah.
Skip over it. I don't know. Adventure. There wasn't really anything memorable to me other than Westopolis in Shadow, so I'd probably skip over it.
Rail can.
I'd
rail highway
like
for the
to
canyon.
see.
Rails
I'd like to
everywhere.
see the. I mean, it goes back to a Sky Sanctuary-esque thing, but the airships from Heroes, the last stage.
Egg Fleet.
Egg Fleet, that was a cool
Egg Fleet
stage.
and
I would have
Fortress.
liked Egg Fleet, but
Yeah.
it would have been very Sky Sanctuary-ish.
I would have liked to have seen Bingo Highway again because that's a very unique looking stage.
Yeah, it's one of those casino ones. Casino's kind of fallen
I-
out of
I think it-
recently,
Yeah.
and I've missed it. I like
It would have been
No,
nice
you
that-
can't. No, because it was in episode 1.
Well, they brought it back in the episode. In the
Yeah, but I think-
in the main
I think
game,
what
there's-
he means is when it turns around to Generations, they just did a silly pinball table instead of a proper casino level, which I think a lot of people would have liked a casino night
So,
zone.
before Generations and not including handhelds, when was the last time you had a home base with a casino-y stage?
Not Cloud. Not
So Unleashed didn't have one.
All Stars Racing.
Platformers. So Sonic 06 didn't have one, did it?
Heroes, probably.
Heroes
You go back to
did.
Heroes, you're back in Dreamcast era.
In a proper 3D one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because 06.
Unleashed didn't have that type of.
Before that, you had the casino one in Adventure. Because there wasn't even a decent casino level in Adventure 2.
And then before
Actually, you said back to Adventure.
Yeah,
Back to
Yeah.
Adventure 2. You've got
There were a lot
White
of
Forest or
stages.
was it White Forest? What Jungle Green Forest?
Oh, that's a good choice, actually. I was about to jump to Pumpkin Hill, but I don't think that would work as a
Yeah.
speed stage. per se.
No.
It's set up.
Maybe
you'd have to
maybe
make up something.
Skyrail because that's essentially
Skyrail
pumpkin,
would have
right?
been
That's
nice
essentially
because it would have been a
Yes.
darker
Yeah.
one instead of another green level.
Yeah, but oh yeah, I'll definitely not White Forest.
something very green.
No, sorry,
just
White
a
Jungle
hill,
Green Forest.
Something like a tropical forest is what you want.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what have we chosen for Dreamcast era then? So, I'm going to stick with Egg Fleet, to be honest, because I think Egg Fleet is quite memorable, especially with the fact that it was in ASR.
I preferred Final Fortress. It was darker.
Yeah.
Final Fortress is boss then, isn't it?
No, 14 was Final Fortress. Egg Fleet was 13. Then you had the giant boss at the end. Where
The
you
Egg
chase-
Emperor.
Egg Emperor, where you chase him on the highway.
I
I did that like 4 times to keep doing it. But no, and it was the music for Final Fortress was just so much nice. It was really nice.
I'm going to go, just because there seems to be a gap there, is for the Mad Matrix-esque one from Shadow.
I think it would work well. I think you're right.
Just not because I like that game, just because I feel that style,
it's something that isn't covered in the other stuff.
You could make it. You could even
and it's very unique to that game as well. There isn't really a digital
there's
stage.
not a hype.
There are like the advanced games have sort of digitalish stages, don't they? Those last few.
There's not a high techno computer one.
Yeah,
and you had
which seems to suit Sonic very well as well.
If you go back to like chemical, like it would work in 2D as well. If you go look back to Chemical Plant, it had like the
Well,
tubes went everywhere.
remember that they made stuff up on the 3D transitions from the 2D levels, and they made 2D transitions from the 3D levels. So it's not hard.
No.
It just requires that little bit of imagination. So what would we do with modern? So that'll give us anything from 06 forward. I'll have a generations level of generations, please.
Have a Sonic episode 2 level go backwards.
I mean, we didn't touch on this going back to Adventure Era, but what adventure tracks were in 3DS?
You had Emerald Coast.
You'll be
You had Radical Highway.
Go there.
Radical Highways, okay.
When you go there, let us know what's there.
That's anti-Vija is
Pony Legion. So alright, so we'll move on to modern.
Right.
Which in generations we had.
So 06 Unleashed, that would be.
Well, we had. What did we have? We had Crisis City, we had Planet West from Colours.
Oh, yeah, Colours.
Unleashed.
Spagonia.
Spagonia?
Spagonia. I said Spagopolis.
Spagopolis.
Rooftop Run.
Rooftop Run.
Yeah.
There you go, that was it. So, yeah. So
we got
the choices we have is
Lava.
06.
So we have Lava 06.
We have, well, no. We have 06 to choose from, Unleashed to choose from, Colours to choose from.
And 06 and
Okay.
Colours. I like the idea of you having a classic modern generation level. Just to really screw with everyone. It's like alternate version. As a mirror version to everything.
I personally am going to say that I want a proper Kingdom Valley.
That'd be nice.
I'd like Kingdom Valley, especially to work. 06, I mean, we all know it's broken to fuck.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see a working Kingdom Valley because it was a really nice looking level. The music was really, really good. But that's why they worked it into the Crisis City Modern soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because it was really, really good. I know a lot of people will probably say Candy Mountain from
Sweet Mountain.
Sweet Mountain from Colours. That even though it's a 3DS, I think people would want to play it again on a 3D plane.
No, isn't it only Tropical Resort in 3DS?
You think so? It's Tropical Resort.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go. I
so
mean, a
you
lot of
could do
people
Sweet
like
Mountain.
Sweet Mountain is the most visually stimulating and originally visually stimulating level. The amount of detail in that is astounding.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for a Wii level.
It's like somebody at Sonic just bang, great ideas everywhere. I can now be my chocoholic self.
It's at the same time as doing that, it also has a lot of kind of robotic-y elements towards the end.
Yes.
Rockets filled with jelly beans.
all the previous
Rockets to jelly beans.
You've got Chemical Plant, which is kind of robotic kind of thing. You've got technology there.
There was a technology stage in each one, really, wasn't there? I mean,
In what? In each
Radical
game?
Highway, yeah.
Radical Highway, you had.
I'm trying to think what I'd like to see. Oh,
Now,
see, we
Unleashed-
didn't get a desert stage, and Unleashed has got obviously Missouri and.
True. Well, I was
I
actually
want-
thinking from Unleashed. I mean, he'll probably get. I'd want an Eggman Land, a proper Eggman Land.
Oh, don't go there.
What a longer one. Extended.
Eggman Land directors.
I think you'll find that will give you 1.5 hours of playtime.
Eggman Land would just be the game.
We actually missed on W, water. Werehog. Where the fuck did we miss that from? I actually had that.
I think it's one of those things that's just like it's not bad enough to be in your brain, but it's bad enough to kind of forget about it. It's not.
I'd rather not think about
but
Werehog. Thank you very much.
It's not terribly bad.
I think Werehog's become more popular over the last few years.
As a character,
It's grown on everyone all of a sudden.
I think
everyone's going, oh, it's not so bad.
I think it's the same.
I think it grew
again,
on me the instant you gave me the shirt and the hoodie.
Again, as we talked about it off the camera earlier on, it's the same as Night of the Wind. It's grown past it.
There's this year of rage, then there's sort of there's forum arguments for about 2 years, and then and then it sort of grows into acceptance, and that's been there, it's gone, it's now.
I think it's because after that 3-year period, it then becomes nostalgia driven.
Yeah.
It's like
And people are like,
But
I like 06, and then they play it.
It's the whole concept of the thing. It's like you get the concept. I don't like the concept, therefore I hate everything.
I don't
about
think it's
this.
that. I think it's more just the case that Werehog especially doesn't play like Sonic, so and it doesn't really suit the game.
Werehog
as a character
on its own.
Yeah,
It was one of the
as a
things
character,
as a
I think,
spin-off.
like for instance, you can have
with another
Werehog as a
character.
character and transformed, and he'd be quite cool. I'd like to
That
race
would be
as Werehog.
interesting. That would be interesting if we actually had Werehog either as a special move with something instead of.
I'd have him
because
as a separate character, to be honest. I think it would be really cool.
I think it would be really nice. I didn't like how, going to ASR for a minute, where we had Sonic and Shadow, whose both fucking move was go super.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what else could you really do with that? With those
Chaos
characters?
control.
Chaos control.
I
Chaos
suppose you could do
Sphere.
Chaos Control for.
And you can do Chaos Spheres while you're in the thing. You shoot them.
Yeah,
That's
but
one
as
of
a
the-
special move, it doesn't need to be super all the time. I mean, I know that's the current fallback of like, everything's in danger, let's go super! But there's such a wider variety of things to actually do instead of just.
Anything they choose against the Chaos Emeralds at the beginning of the match. It's like Sonic and Shadow both in there, and they both go super. They both need the Chaos Emeralds. They have like half each, and
Well, as they
That would
overtake
be
each
an
other.
interesting element. It would be
As they
a
overtake each
bit
other,
kind
they're
of
palming
like.
off. There you go.
That takes it away from a kart race into a bumper car scene for emeralds.
Actually, that would be interesting because you're right. So, if they were both in the race at the same time, you'd have a thing. Oh yeah, their moves that's like much more powerful, but they both have to have the superstar move at the same time to use it. So then you get like, going to attack.
Please tell me that the cars have both got to be next to each other, and then they've got to do the wrist movements.
No, but then it becomes a tactical thing because you've almost got to help the other guy out.
Yeah. Palm off the emeralds. There you go, mate.
They could set that in as an emerald hunt thing, and then it diverts back to.
it's like the Shadow and Sonic Adventure battle.
I'm more thinking about in the kart race form that you could turn it to in some form to what Mario Kart 64 did. You know, where you had the balloons on the kart and you had to blow them up to knock your opponent.
That was brilliant.
It was really good. It was really simple and it was different to the actual races. And something like that would be nice.
Didn't they do something like that in Rider Zero Gravity?
I can't believe it.
on the multiplayer battle aspect.
I
think
didn't
they
really play it,
did.
to be honest with you, multiplayer.
You were too frightened to have two people standing against each other.
No, Zero Gravity.
Zero
was the
Gravity.
Wii and the
Zero Gravity. I swear there was a battle. There was a battle
No,
element.
Zero
We had
Gravity was
something
just
like
the Wii, wasn't it? Because
Yeah. I swear there was like a battle element in there, which was they had something very similar.
it might have done. But it would be nice to see something like that in ASR because it would give it a different multiplayer aspect.
Except that people compare it to
like
Mario Kart.
the multiplayer battles that you would have in, say, Mario Kart 64, with you hit your opponent 3 times with a special move and you get a Chaos Emerald for lack of a better object.
But then you
Or
could,
turn it into Emerald Hunt. That'd be hilarious.
Oh,
so you could just go,
Oh, bollocks. Missed it.
but yeah, you could then have like a sliding league scale going up, like a separate tournament mode.
Is it
be
doing
battle
what I think it's
tournament.
doing? And raining.
no,
No, that's
that's me.
it's just him spinning.
It's him raging.
If it actually rains, then we'll just move in there.
We'll move the camera and everything.
Yeah, but we'll leave the camera here.
We'll go. Pause.
Magic.
Should we get back to modern stages?
Yes.
We went once again off topic.
Diversion. Modern stages. So
So you want desert?
No, he wants desert.
I'd want the desert stage. I'd like Missouri.
They could change Oil Desert Zone from episode 2!
But that's an awesome stage and it has the best boss ever.
To be fair, it has the giant sand snakes.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
They're amazing. When I saw the concept art, I didn't think they would be that big.
I thought it was something like, whoa, that's new.
Yeah.
And then,
I love that stage.
You think, oh, that's new, as your Sonic and Tails going flying past.
I think Oil Desert was semi-redemption for episode 2. But anyway, modern stages. Before we get diverted any further.
I like the idea of a desert stage.
I'd like.
Desert stage at night.
What's the other desert stage?
No, you see, when it comes to day and night,
Missouri.
I would like a workable
There's two,
system.
isn't there?
Because a lot of games can do it now where they read the clock in the system.
Well, no, there's like Missouri.
Didn't 06 do it?
But then you kind of got the Chinese one, which is...
No, there's two.
No,
Honest to
I
God,
remember
there's
a
two.
lot of the
Missouri.
promotional for stuff for 06 was that it has a workable clock. You can have day and night, and they just changed day and night to workable parts of the level, didn't they? So like,
Awesome. I didn't realise this was on it.
What's this?
Sonic 2 Remix.
There's a Tidal Tempest remix.
Oh, wow. Sorry if you can't hear it, it's really awesome.
Unless you can hear it, in which case it's crap.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd say Eggman Land, but
Eggman Land would make sense because just to have everyone rage. But it's DLC, and people probably won't buy it if it's Eggman Land.
do you imagine a classic Eggman Land?
That would be pretty cool.
Well, no, that would be Robotnik Land, though, surely.
But nobody calls it that anymore.
No, I think nobody calls me that anymore. I loved that line. It was such an absolute backhand to everybody who's been raging for this. It's just like, grow the fuck up. It's not.
Shamar. That's the other desert one.
Shamar.
I think you're right. I do think you're right. I think a decent desert level would have worked well.
I think Missouri over Shamar because that was the trailer, wasn't it? The first trailer was Missouri.
And
yeah.
it was the first one they really showed off the drifting mechanic as well.
Yeah.
Keeping with the city theme, Empire City.
I absolutely despise that stage.
It's a crap stage.
It's awful.
Would you like to fall off a bloody building over and over again? Yes. Yes, I would.
Why not?
I'm going to play the stage.
Yes!
This is fun.
Although it just shows you that he's lost a bit over the years, because you can if it was adventure, he'd just run down that skyscraper.
yeah.
But no, this time he just sort of bounces
goes,
off the edge. Dies. You're rubbish now, Sonic. Other modern levels. You say Kingdom Valley.
I'm going to stick with Kingdom Valley because
I'm gonna go with
I think I'm going to say Kingdom Valley more because I want to see a working Kingdom Valley in modern as a modern Sonic more than anything else.
I want to say Holoska, the ice level.
That's
we haven't had an ice level.
There's no ice.
There isn't an ice level.
And it's nice because it's one of those where you run around.
Actually,
you wide, you drift, and you slide.
I go back to
Not
Ice Cap.
Ice Cap. I was about to say
snowboarding. Modern snowboarding because they could fix what they did wrong in Adventure.
You could take.
But then you could have ice. You could have Ice Cap in Classic. You
could have Ice Cap in Dreamcast.
You could Ice Cap in Dreamcast. You can have a DLC pack which is just all the ice levels.
That's like the Christmas DLC. It's all the ice stages.
Seasonal DLCs like they did in the Dreamcast.
Bad idea, actually.
Because then you could do Pumpkin Hill.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I like Holoska because it was wide. It was at times it was slippery and it was
ice acted as ice.
In Unleashed, Holoska was rage-inducing. It was almost as bad as Empire City.
I like Holoska, especially with the bobsleigh
bobsleigh
bit. Is excellent. I love the bobsleigh.
No, it's not the bobsleigh bit. It's where you must hold X to get over water, or you plummet and die. And if you run out of boost, you plummet and die.
That was I record set up my old video card. I actually recorded me playing Holoska once round. I was trying to hit the boost pads. It was like miss. In the entire level, I missed like 10 boost pads. These are like the ones you're meant to hit in order to go the right way. Like, this is not designed for me.
Yeah, you just love it when you miss one dash pad. It's like, oh shit! Because then you got to like
Gotta manually steer yourself.
boosting and trying to drift on water to get back.
Because you can sink slightly, can't you?
Yeah.
Like, use that turn and then boost again.
It uses the same sort of thing they put in Generations. If you go underwater, if you boost, you'll go straight to the top, which is awful.
It doesn't work.
I've tried.
Stop taking physics tips from Dash from The Incredibles. It's what we're saying here.
And that's the end of the show.
Tune in next week.
I'd like to see some more ice.
I think an ice level. I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
Desert and ice levels are something that generators are sorely needed.
So we've got desert and ice and a techno level.
I think that would work well if we went ice cat for classic, techno for adventure,
techno, and then desert for modern.
Yeah.
I think that would work well as a nice different selection.
Yeah, yeah.